Good morning. I'm John Ellsworth, founder of Success Strategies Incorporated and the creator of the Success Strategies Advantage, and I want to welcome you to today's presentation, which I have entitled, Are You Familiar with the 7 Laws of Success? Joshua Becker, in a recent article that I read entitled 7 Laws of Success, talks about some values, some rules of life that we should follow, that he indeed follows, and suggests that we should too, for the greatest levels of success to be achieved, and maybe to increase your overall happiness too. But here they are. I thought I'd go through them one at a time and give you some maybe more examples, details as we go along. His first one is that you should choose your own values. I think what he's saying here is say no to the latest fads. These trends of, little things that pop up and, oh, everybody's doing it. Well, maybe so. But what he suggested instead is to focus on what's important now. Former Notre Dame football coach Lou Holtz refers to these as wins. He says WIN, W-I-N, is an acronym for what's important now. Sounds like good advice to me. Point number 2 that Joshua Becker talks about is that we should align our resources with those values that we just talked about in number 1. In other words, focus. We should maintain our focus on what's really essential to our lives and our business success. Number 3, do not measure your life with someone else's ruler, is his terminology. Do not measure your life with someone else's ruler. I think all of us in our industries, particularly for those of you that are business people, and even comparisons in the dairy industry, we talk about industry comparisons, and I think we need to be careful with those. Those are valuable, but I think we need to be we need to consider, are they reasonable? Are they realistic? If you're comparing your small operation with a much larger company, in any industry for that matter, or someone that's in a newer facility, maybe has better equipment, greater efficiencies in place already, isn't it better, really, when you think about it, to stop and see how you did this year versus last year or 2 or 3 years ago? In other words, are you making progress or are you going backwards? You can't stand still because so many other variables are changing. Point number 4 that Joshua Becker talks about is committing to continuous growth. Now, the challenge of that is that it's easy to get caught up in the rapture of life and all the activities of life. So we need to commit to continuous growth. And ask yourself occasionally, are we getting better? Are we always getting better? Well, nobody's on a perfect trajectory upward, of course, and I include myself in that. But the key is, are we getting better? Focus on what we can. And there's another acronym, CANI, C-A-N-I, that Tony Robbins talks about, and that stands for constant and never-ending improvement. And I want to give him credit for that, of course. Point number 5 that Joshua Becker talks about is controlling your attention. It's easy to get distracted. So he's saying, do not get distracted. Again, focus on what's really important now and the variables that we actually can control. Do you have full control over everything? I certainly do not in my life and business, but maintain control over the things that we can manage, we can control. Point number 6, living for others. He's saying instead of being selfish, be selfless. In other words, focus on others. Why are you building your business? Why are you doing the things you do on a regular basis? And be more selfless. Do it for your family. Do it for your church, perhaps. Do it for your community and make progress that way. And we're all better off as a result of your efforts, of course. And point number 7 that Joshua Becker wraps up with is doing the next right thing the best way that we know how. Doing the next right thing the best way we know how. Former President Teddy Roosevelt referred to this in a quote that he made, and again I quote, "Do what you can with what you've got where you are." End of quote. That sounds like something that'll really lead you to success. If we do what we can, do with what we've got to work with and wherever we are in life. Sounds like a real success plan. As Lou Holtz, again, former Notre Dame football coach, said, and again I quote, "Do what's right, do the best you can, and always treat others the way you want to be treated." End of quote. That to me sounds like a real success plan. I want to thank you for listening today. Again, I'm John Ellsworth, founder of Success Strategies Incorporated and the creator of the Success Strategies Advantage. Thank you very much.